Welcome, all you amazing people, to our Aries full moon reading. The Aries full moon is going to be reaching its fullest on October 20th, around 8:56 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust for that, because that's going to be at the very climax of all the energies. This is an Aries full moon, so you got all that fiery energy of Aries being a fire sign, and then multiply that times the regular, just huge energy of a full moon, and you've got Shazam! You got all this energy coming in, a lot of energy. Of course, with a full moon and with all this amplification, emotions are also going to be amplified in a huge way. So just know whatever emotion that you're focusing on, and whatever emotion you choose during that time, you're going to feel it in a big way. But it's wonderful. I mean, you can feel the energy up to a week before the full moon, up to a week or so after the full moon. The more closer we get to the full moon, the more intense it is, the more dreams you're going to have, so you're going to feel all that. So if you feel out of sorts, just look up at the sky and go, the full moon. That is why my emotions are feeling very, expanded. What's great too is we had 2 full moons in a row in Aquarius in July and August, and then we just had a full moon in Pisces last month. So that had us all on this track of dreamy times, and then we followed that up with the energy of the Pisces full moon, which was about putting some practical plans to those dreams. So putting some plans around the steps towards that dream. And now we have all this blast of energy that we can use and focus it onto those steps. However, it's always a however, right? Also keep in mind that moving from Pisces to Aries, we're ending the cycle of the zodiac signs. We reach the end of Pisces and we're moving in to the beginning again with Aries. And so this might bring some new awareness, and it might cause you to desire to make revisions to the dream, make revisions to the plan. So you might alter your path a little bit, and that's totally okay. So if you feel that energy of wanting to switch things up, don't resist that, because it is part of this beautiful energy that will help you with all of that. Now, the last new moon we had in Aries was back on April 11th of this year, and that was a time of taking action on things. So when you look back around April 11th and see what was going on around that time, what kind of actions you did initiate, because now is also the time to reevaluate. You plant seeds and everything with a new moon. It grows into the harvest of the full moon. And then as you wane away from that to head back towards a new moon again, in that whole cycle of Aries new moon to Aries full moon, back to Aries new moon, it's like 6 months between a new moon and a full moon in the sign, and then back again. So, this moving away from the full moon will be a time where you're also going to be looking at what you're ready to let go of. So, there's all of this reevaluation type of energy coming with this full moon, because of the ending of that big cycle of Aries to Pisces and going back into Aries again, as well as the full moon. You're reaching the climax of the full moon and headed backward. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a reading for each sign, and the question we're kind of going to look at is, what can you reevaluate? But really, I really feel like with all this energy, it's where can you direct this lightning bolt of energy that's coming? What advice does Spirit and the Creator have for us on where we can direct it for the most beneficial experience and most in alignment of who we want to be and where we want to go? So we're going to go ahead and jump right into your reading right now. All right, all my Capricorns, this is your reading for the full moon in Aries. And we are going to be pulling a card here first from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. This is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about these next 3 weeks around the full moon. And of course, any guidance on where you can direct this amazing lightning bolt of energy into your life. All right, there we go. All right, Creator, so for our Capricorns, what would you like them to know about this 3-week period? Okay. Really feel like this one is the one that is calling for us to look at it. Oh, wow. You got the humpback whale. Beautiful, jumping out of the water there. That's singer. So sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. Beautiful. I love that, especially the whale song, right? But definitely, this is about, I really feel like taking that leap, rising above the surface, which is, beautiful because whales, of course, they're not fish. They don't lay eggs and they don't breathe underwater. They just take deep breaths and then submerge, and they're able to stay underwater for a great amount of time. So I really feel this is a beautiful thing. Even though you're an earth sign, I feel like you have this wonderful ability to feel emotion and not be afraid of your emotion, because whales can dive deep into the emotions, into the waters, which are emotional waters, right? But I feel the song that you sing, the wisdom that you've gleaned that you can share with others is such a huge thing. Of course, this is a general reading, so some of you are like, oh my God, singer, that's exactly what my dream is. And it's like, well, go for it. Make the plans, do the, see how you want to get there, what you need to do. And if you want to be a singer, sing. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you want to be a popular singer, then, you are going to put in the work to get to that point, right? If you want it, that's what you'll go for. But I really love this because it's just about nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal, is what it says here. And let me also read from the book here, see what other energy this brings for you. Almost there. There's a lot of H's in here. All right, there you go. So the energy that also comes with this card is peaceful, gentle giant, love, singer, teacher, record keeper, power of breath, protection, strength, traveler, telepathy, tireless. So that humpbacks are the record keepers of the world. Whale people can connect to this ancient knowledge, but often do not understand where their knowing comes from. Humpbacks are the peaceful bards, B-A-R-D-S, of the sea. The males sing long, complex ballads to court the female. They often sing in unison. Their soulful songs are frequencies that release tension and heal the ocean with love. Humpback is a great totem for the musician and composer. Singing is a powerful act that links us to our eternal soul. Music unlocks hidden joy, inner knowing, and healing. Humpbacks travel long distances using sonar to find their way. And sonar can travel hundreds of miles and is like asking a question and then waiting patiently for the answer to come back to you. Humpback mothers carefully tend their newborns, and they gently push them to the surface to breathe and teach them the way to live. If humpback is your totem, then you have strong protective forces around you. Your telepathy and knowing are strong. You will navigate the vast ocean of life with grace and sure success. So call upon humpback to teach you to unlock your many gifts and help you remember your history and place in the world. Beautiful. And then there are some questions here. Yep, just 3. They're questions or like advice on what you can contemplate during this period. So if any of them resonate with you during these 3 weeks, you can do that. The first one is, are you asking questions and listening to the answers? Number 2, is life so noisy that you have lost the sound of your inner sonar? And then it says, find some silence. And then lastly, number 3, do you need to put the world right once more? Pause, breathe deeply, and return to the water. So, yeah, definitely beautiful messages and beautiful questions there for you. We're also going to get clarity on all this, of course. I'm going to start off by pulling a card here from the Naked Heart Tarot. And what we're going to look at is the 3 weeks around the full moon. We're going to pull a card for the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and then 2 weeks after the full moon. All right, Creator, what do you want Capricorns to know about the week before the full moon? Okay, what about the week after the full moon? Okay, really good. These 2. And then what about the second week after the full moon? Okay. And we're also going to pull a card for each of those weeks from this Wild Unknown Tarot, just for more information. So we will take whatever we can get. Any guidance. Help us through this foggy life at times, right? All right, so what about the week before the full moon? Okay, I feel like that's just the one. And then the week after. And then the second week after. Ooh, okay, you get 3. Bonus. All right. So let's dig in here and see what we got the week before the full moon. You got the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is, of course, about your abundance and your work and your outside world. And the 8 of Pentacles is like the busy beaver doing the work, focusing on the right now. I mean, you've been doing that, and that puts out, when you focus on just doing what you're doing right now and focus on creating what you are designed to create. You know, when you're living your dream, you can just focus on the moment, and all this beautiful output just happens because you don't even think about what you're accomplishing, you know, in a way. You don't look at, it's like your accomplishment is that you are living your dream. You're putting all those passions inside of you into action. And so doing that in this moment is where the joy happens and where the fulfillment happens. You know, if you're doing a job that you feel that isn't your dream, you kind of feel like you're living to work, right? You feel almost like you're enslaved to some sort of task instead of that you're working to live. Because you might have to work a job, you know, that you're doing now while you use those funds. You're working to live your dream, right? And so I really feel like this is that awareness that can come from that, with this spark of lightning of energy is coming to you. It's like, I can live my dream, but I don't have to go from 0 to 1,000 in one huge step. There's going to be steps along the way, and I can enjoy even the work that I do, knowing that it's creating the funds for me to live my dream. I mean, making sure you're prioritizing living your dream and having that attention on it every day, even if it starts off with a little vision board, drawing a picture of what you want, and then starting to make plans and like the big steps that you would need to take, and then breaking down those big steps into smaller steps and focusing in on going, yeah, I know all the stuff I'm going to need to do and all that journey, but I don't have to take all those 1,000 steps at the same time. I focus on the very next step or the next couple, right? You don't have to worry about all the others. So kind of look at these as like this was the first step and you're on the second step, and you know that there's these other steps you're going to take, and that's okay. You just keep doing the work and keep enjoying it, right? Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, you got the Fool, which is for me represents your soul. So really connecting to your soul, connecting to your passions that are deep within you. And the zero, it's the beginning. It's a brand new beginning, which means a cycle in your life is ending, a major cycle is ending, and you're beginning this new beautiful cycle, which totally fits in with, this journey. You've began in the new cycle, and you're able to live your life, and you're able to focus all that energy into this new adventure. Don't focusing on all the past and all the shoulda, woulda, couldas. You experienced everything you did for a reason. It's prepared you for this next journey and this next adventure. And now you have all this lightning that is, this beautiful Aries energy coming in with this full moon, just to zap and kind of charge your solar panels, charge all this electricity to give you the power to continue to move forward. So I like that lightning bolt also is bringing a lot of clarity for you in all these, all the steps that you want to take. You're like, you know what? Connecting to your soul and connecting to your higher self, you can also get clarity around what is the most adventurous way that you can go that is in alignment to what your heart and soul wants for this life, right? And so, taking time away, like it said here, getting silent, and finding that silence if there's a lot of noise going on, if you're not sure, if you feel confused about what next steps to take, get out into nature, get away from all that noise, get away from all the news and social media and all that for, a few hours at least, to where you can just breathe deep and then dive in to find out within your soul what it is that you want to do, and you'll get clarity. You ask Spirit, Creator, all your support team on the other side, all these beings of unconditional love and light, they are so willing and excited to be able to ask, but they won't mess with our free will. When we ask of our own free will for their support, answers, guidance, signs, synchronicities, whatever, you will see them, especially when you're in a quiet place in that frequency, that higher frequency of love, of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, rather than the fear noise, which is, deafening to us, where we can't hear anything when we're in fear. So it's definitely a beautiful time for you to understand your path, ignite your path, get clarity on your path. And then the full moon hits, and then the week after the full moon, you have the Judgment card, which the Judgment card isn't about you're being judged. It's about you realizing the judgmental world of black and white that you've been living in as the human side, our shadow side. And that's all fight or flight and fear and conditioning and expectations and disappointment. And then you realize, as you connect to your soul and your higher self, that this is you. You're a beautiful butterfly, and you're able to see things from a higher perspective. And you understand the process of transformation that it takes. It's card number 20, which is X and X, and so that's 2 10s, which is endings and new beginnings, double endings and new beginnings. And so it's really this ending of the way you think about yourself as a human, and this ending of ways you think about yourself as a spirit, and you're just connecting and understanding that you can be this joined together. It doesn't have to be this battle inside you. You can figure out ways, sometimes you're torn between, well, I've got responsibilities as a parent for my children, and I want to support my spouse, and I've got other responsibilities. It's like you find a way when you stop limiting your beliefs. And you're like, you know what? When I make my dreams also a priority along with everyone else's, there's ways that you can mesh it, which is like a win-win-win-win, so you can find out, like, if you have two children, what dreams do they have? What dream does your spouse have? What dream do you have? And you find ways to make them all work. And you're smart that way because you're a Capricorn, Capricorn sun. Or if you have Capricorn in your chart, you have a lot of this smartness, this wisdom that comes. You can get very grounded very easily because you are an earth sign. So you have this ability to just like bring all that confusion and all that energy. And it's like you have all that lightning come down into the ground and into your groundingness. And it just opens your eyes, literally. You get to see things from a different perspective. You see possibilities where there weren't possibilities before. Yeah. And then you have the Lover's card here. So kind of like I was mentioning, if you do have another partner in your life that you want to, have a life with, that you do, of course, consider their dreams, and then they consider yours, and you work it out. Sometimes, that's what a relationship, if you want to be in a relationship, is so much about, is that that give and receive, and if you're the one that's giving up your life for the other person's dream, maybe they don't want that for you. Maybe they want you to have your dream too, but they don't know how to go about, having you believe that, because no one can convince you otherwise when you believe something different, because you are stubborn, right? No, when I believe something, you're not going to change my mind. It has to change from within me. So, it's definitely making your life a priority along with theirs. At first, if they're like, wait a minute, that's not what we agreed, it's like, well, life is fluid. Things change. But I just noticed, I hadn't noticed this before, how their beaks make a heart in the middle there. Not very observant am I, but it's beautiful. The other thing I love about this Lover's card, though, is it does represent a part of our soul journey in the major arcana, because this is the number 6, and the number 4 and number 5 that come before it are the Emperor and the Hierophant. And both of those have this energy about them, about our human side wanting to define and control things, right? The Emperor is about society, and it's like, oh, hey, if we're having all these humans live in close proximity, we have to have some rules of how things work so that we don't kill each other and we don't, have, feces all over the place. We find out ways to be able to communicate with each other and, do all that. And the Hierophant kind of does that, except with our spiritualness, how we connect with God and Creator, or whatever religious beliefs you have. Those are the attempt of the human to define, and it ends up suppressing, and then of course ego gets involved and it becomes about power and blah blah blah. But I say all that because then the Lovers come along, and this is the first time usually that we, as usually teenagers, when we have something that sparks within us, either it's attraction to someone or attraction to something like, even like a band or singer that you just have to see. And it's the first time that you feel passionate about something. You don't fear breaking the rules anymore. And so you're willing to break the rules of, all the shoulds and supposed tos and have tos, all that conditioning we had as a child, to say, I'm going to go see them. I'm going to go sneak out and stay past my curfew, or I'm going to go see this band in concert, and I'm going to, tell my parents I'm staying over at my friend's house. My friend's going to lie if they call, and I'm going to go. It's that kind of, you have that, and I love that because this passion, this, like we're talking about here, it's this beautiful spark, and where you're willing to go, you know what? The feelings of not living my dream are, they're feeling ugly, and they're outweighing the fear of, failure, or the fear of what other people will think. You're like, especially when it says nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal, you definitely want to go for it. And now is the time. It's perfect time in your life, and all this energy that's coming in from this Aries full moon is perfect for you. Yep. And then you have the moon. And the moon is about, getting into the lower world. We talked about the water, and we talked about the unconscious and the subconscious, and it talked about diving deep. The moon helps you do that, especially this is all about the full moon in Aries. The moon energy does help you connect. The high priestess is all about the moon energy. She allows you to see beyond the veil. The moon energy, too, is very feminine and very mothering, where she wants to nurture, she wants to help, she wants to reveal things that are holding us back. She wants to reveal things that will help us, drop those weights so we can move forward. And she does nurture. She wants to nurture your dream. She wants to nurture your experience here. So very much it's also about connecting to the higher realms, to like we're talking about with the Fool card. So this beautiful connection and awareness continues into this week after the full moon. And then you move into the second week after the full moon. Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to come up. The Devil card, which is the shadow. When I was talking about the moon here, about she likes to reveal to you what no longer serves you, or reveal your dreams to you, or nurture you in a bunch of ways, are, we were talking about, like with the butterfly, our human side, our shadow also is part of our journey. And when you reach to this point, because this is like card 15, you've gone through a lot of experience within the major arcana journey of the soul. And when you reach this point, you realize that your shadow is your friend, and your shadow will also identify and show you those things that are constricting you. Usually the card will show like two people with chains around their neck. They're loosely bound, but they're, it's chained down, and the chains are not tight where they could slip out of them, and so it's also this message of that we are the ones that chain ourselves with our thoughts and our beliefs from the past. And the shadow, the devil card here, comes to show you that you're being made aware of that. You're being shown those things that you've been limiting yourself with from the past. Those, habits, those, whatever it might be, all those patterns and cycles that you're repeating. And sometimes it's even about addictions, and addictions can be, you can be addicted to try to control other people. You can be addicted to codependency in addition to any kind of substances, and that you can be addicted to an old dream that you attach so much of your worth to. There's all this stuff. It brings it to our attention, and it doesn't do it in a subtle way. The moon is more subtle. I think around this moon, though, the Aries moon is a little less subtle because it has so much fire. It's like it's trying to whisper, but it's whispering really, really loud. And this card also does that same thing. It's like where you have like 5 situations that pop into your life that are the exact type of same situation. Either it's your relation to it, or you have friends who are going through it. An example is like, I had a couple weeks ago, I had, within a week and a half, I had 5 people, like one of my friends, she lost her husband. He passed away. I had another friend whose father passed away. My mother, her neighbor, passed away. I had another friend who, a dear friend of theirs, tried to commit suicide. And then I had another friend who did lose, someone else that was important in their life. And so you're like, okay, I think I see something here, because usually You don't hear a lot of different things, and all of a sudden you're like, here you go. There's your message, right? So be aware, and I'm sure you're already aware. If not, during this period of time, during this second week after, you'll be getting these very clear messages on what that is. Yep, and you have the Two of Wands. Wands is the fire energy, the Aries energy. And I love that this kind of represents that coming together too, of the two energies of the human side and the spirit side. And you're, instead of it being separated and, like it's separating and becoming wider, you're bringing that together and understanding how it can work together and how things can, be like this path, like this happily ever after path that you're walking down together. That this is definitely a sign of focused energy as well, that you're able to do that. And it is also about making plans. So, this energy that you're having and this awareness that's happening about these things that are holding you back, you're able to let things go. And with awareness, it allows you to adjust some of your planning, right? Okay. Yeah. And you got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups. Cups are emotions. And the Six of Cups is about nostalgia, looking back at the past, seeing what growth has happened, what's going on. And I really feel this is strongly connected to this card on showing you things of the past, showing you patterns and cycles and things that have been holding you back. And also things that brought you happiness too. It's not all doom and gloom. It's very colorful here. So you're not looking at it in a judgmental way. You're looking at it in a freeing way where you can see that those things, those emotions you were feeling, those emotions you were putting around a situation, the stories you were creating around a situation, that you are the one that can let those go. So definitely, especially with this moon energy getting into the subconscious in these deep waters we were talking about, it is about understanding that. And then, it changes from this black and white into this beautiful tree that is blossoming and blooming instead. So I love that. And we're actually going to put it this way. So you see the roots are still important, but it's about this beautiful movement forward. Yeah, because here you have the Mother of Cups, which would normally be the Queen of Cups in regular. And this is so much the High Priestess, so much moon energy. She definitely, connects to all these beautiful orbs and your support on the other side. So she's very intuitive and being divine, feminine energy, nurturing. And so, again, with this moon, nurturing your dreams, nurturing this is nurturing your emotions, nurturing your connection to the other side as well. So definitely there's this consistent message of connecting to your higher self, connecting to the higher realms, connecting to the higher realms. So keeping that focused. And this is definitely a beautiful time with all this wand energy, which is what fire energy is, which is what the Aries is. You have this beautiful spiritual energy that's happening, just sparking beautiful things within you in awareness. So definitely, I love it. Again, nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. So determining what your goal is and just focusing on each step as you go. I'm loving this. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Just know as you're going throughout this life that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have an amazing full moon in Aries, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.